I know that people wait for signs, and signs are, wonderful to have. Part of my mission and my voice is that you really don't have to look for signs. You can be the sign yourself.
Ooh, as the messenger.
As the messenger, you write to my
Yeah.
form writing, but it may come across in different ways. But you reach out to them and then
Mm.
you receive them. It gives you so much more. It gives you a lot to be able to do that.
As we begin the podcast today, feel your angels surround you and sing to you. You are a miracle. Your life is a miracle. The good that you choose to do today is a miracle received by other souls. And just because you're you, God, Universe, Source sends you big and small miracles this day and every day. Right now, invite your angels to guide you. Ask God, Universe, Source for what your heart wants. See it as if you're in the future and what you want is already yours now. And so it is. I love you and I'm so grateful you're here that I have some freebies for you. I worked with the angels to create 31 meditations that are going to make you a magnet for miracles. Get them free at theangelmedium.com. Want to be my angel? Leave this podcast 5 stars or a 5-star positive review, and I'll enter you into a drawing to win a free reading with me. Use the form at theangelmedium.com/contact to send me your contact info so I know who to call when you win. Use that same contact form to submit your angel stories, what you're struggling with, or a question, which I'll answer on this podcast or Instagram at Angel Podcast. That's theangelmedium.com/contact. Thank you for being my angel. And remember, angels and miracles are your birthright, and they're activated when you believe. So ask, believe, and receive your miracles. Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome back to the Angels and Awakening podcast. I'm your host and author, Julie Jancius. And friends, today we have Jamie Lee Silver on the show. And the intention is really today, Jamie has a son who is on the other side. His name is Ben, and he brings through messages to her all the time. And what I love about Jamie's energy is she's just your everyday mama. There's not a ton of woo there. Like, you look like Jamie, somebody I would just sit down and have like a really long lunch where we end and we're like, we could talk to each other for forever. But as Ben transitioned to the other side, you've heard from him, gotten signs from him, you get messages. You're like, Julie, for today's podcast, I was getting messages last night, this morning. I can't wait for you to bring all of those through. And for you to really teach our audience how you connect with Ben and how you deepen that relationship with him. So, Jamie, thank you so much for being here and being on the show.
Julie, thank you so much for inviting me. I've been listening to your show and I love your energy, and your mission is so important. Thank you.
Oh, of course. So, why don't we start with Ben's story? Because that seems to be where his communication with you started.
Sure, sure. First of all, here's Ben.
Oh, how handsome.
Awesome. So Ben was a singer, a songwriter, poet. He was hilarious. He loved people. He loved to make people feel good. That was his essence. And he was a star runner. And running was really important to him. He was 5'3". And for a man, that's pretty small. And as a high school runner in Downers Grove, North Illinois, he brought his team to state over and over and over. And he wanted to get a full scholarship to college, which he did. But once he got there, he could no longer run. Had he run his body out in high school? We don't really know. But he started breaking down emotionally. Eventually, he was diagnosed with schizophrenia, and he definitely thought that he was being chased, that he was going to be caught, and that it wasn't going to end well. So he took the escape route after really battling this for a long time. And the minute he did, I said to everyone, I said it was suicide, it was schizophrenia, which he was finally diagnosed with. I am not ashamed. This is a disease that struck my boy. And then I could feel that the love was still there. And anyone that's listening probably knows what I mean. I'm auditory. I love music. I love words. I love poetry, just like Ben. So I sat down and wrote to him soon after it happened, when a little bit of the dust of planning for the ceremony that we did for him had planned. And I want you to know what he said. First of all, and I think this is key, and what I do now is teach people how to do this, and it makes me so happy. So I wrote to him because I could see him in every bird, and I said, "Dear Ben, soaring above us all, free and flying, you got your way. You ended your torturous road. You are released. You are released. And now you will have all of us praying for you as your mission continues right here, right now, forever. I will cry until I run out of tears. I cry in gratitude that you came to me. My heart will always be full. Oh, Ben, right through me, laugh through me, live your happiness all around me. My dear boy, I know you never meant to hurt me, not ever. Ben, maybe you're sitting right next to me on this Friday, right here by the pool. What do you have to say? Your loving mom. I kept my pen on the paper and I listened, and I felt his words coming through, and I just wrote what I heard. And he said, "Mom, I did it. I meant to do it at the time. And I knew it would make you sad, but somehow I still had to do it. It had to happen. And this story is not yet written, not yet told, but will be right now, right? My life and death have meaning, not had. Dearest Mom, my closest friend, my absolute love, don't despair. I know you will create a life of meaning, of love, of warmth and creativity. Together we will live on. Together we will always live on. Enjoy the sun. Enjoy this day. Enjoy your life. Your forever, Ben."
Join me for these upcoming events. We're hosting the Angel Reiki Mediumship School live in person again this fall and spring. Event dates are up at theangelmedium.com/events. Space is limited. Reserve your spot today. And as a bonus, I'm giving you access to our 8-week online Angel Reiki Mediumship School so that you can get started as soon as you register. Don't want to come in person? That's okay. You can still earn your certifications in mediumship, angel messages, and energy healing in our 8-week online program with a new online class and Zoom calls starting on the 1st of each month. Did you know one Wednesday evening of each month, I host a free group prayer event open to all. And right afterwards, I teach you a new tool to work with your angels or loved ones in heaven. Sign up today free at theangelmedium.com/events, and we'll send you the Zoom link to participate. You'll also find details on our upcoming spiritual retreat, October 4th, 5th, and 6th, 2024, at theangelmedium.com/events. So excited to work with you. Now, back to the show. Let's talk about this a little bit because we're having this candid conversation. And yet, when you have a podcast, there are people who are listening from so many different perspectives and so many different experiences. And so many people look for signs. And I just want to make it really clear to folks that I don't believe in taking our own life. I believe that the brain works in a way for some of us. My brain does. I've had suicidal thoughts since I was 13, 14 years old, where, and I've talked to world renowned experts on this subject matter, that once you open that part of yourself, it's hard to close because your brain goes back to it as a resource. But we're not advocating for suicide in any way, shape, or form. We're just noting that there are so many different people having many different experiences of life, and there need to be advocates out there who aren't ashamed to say that those who pass of suicide do not go to a dark place. There is no hell. The hellish that it gets is right here where we are living. You can make this life hell on earth. You can make this life heaven on earth. But there are some people whose brains go to that place. And unless you've experienced it, I think it's very, very hard to understand it. And yet, the people who pass at their own hand are welcomed and greeted and loved in heaven, just like any other soul.
Beautiful, beautiful. And Ben is evidence of that.
I want to start here because you said today, before we hopped on, that Ben was coming through with messages last night and messages this morning. And he was saying, there is no death. It's time that we finally grasp this. I want you to go into that.
Yeah, he's been saying that all along. And that's in my book, Our Forever Ben. And anyone who's curious about this, I'll send you a PDF for free of the book if you want to take a look at that. He said there is no death. He's not living in physical world, but he's told me that he can be places simultaneously. Like
Yes.
he can be with me, he can be running with his running mates, he can be with his brother, he can be any place he wants to be. And he loved birds. And I said, Ben, I saw you in that bird, but then I thought I saw you in that bird. And I thought I saw, he's like, I am in every bird, Mom.
It's amazing. I talk about this all the time, and I love it when other people have come to the same energy because I think it means that we're all on the right track. Where that the angels say all the time that our soul is omnipresent, just like God Universe Sources. And the energy of our soul can be everywhere all at once, which is just fascinating.
And it feels so good to know, I look up in that cloud and in the back of my mind, I'm like winking at Ben, like, wow, cool, right? And I have a full life of other friends and I'm a fully functional, human being. And it's like I have this extra.
So, when you were first in a state of loss as a mama and Ben had passed, how did he first start coming through to you? How did you first start hearing him, seeing him, knowing his presence?
Well, and this is really important because I asked him right here in this writing, live through me, laugh through me, write through me. And then I signed the letter, your loving mom, and then I listened and I wrote what I heard. So I know that people wait for signs, and signs are, wonderful to have. Part of my mission and my voice is that you really don't have to look for signs. You can be the sign yourself.
Ooh, as the messenger.
As the messenger, you write to my
Yeah.
form of writing, but it may come across in different ways. But you reach out to them and then
Mm.
you receive them. It gives you so much more. It gives you a lot to be able to do that.
Okay, so this is going really, really deep, and I want to break it down for people. It's an invitation.
Exactly.
So you're inviting them, which is a request, it's an ask. And as you said that, I was seeing that the angels are saying and showing me at the same time when you invite and ask via a request, a loved one on the other side. It could be God, universe, source. It could be an angel. It could be guardian angel. It could be a guide on the other side, a pet on the other side. You are concentrating within your mind on that other soul, and you're asking them to be with you, to connect with you, to go on this journey with you, to work through you. It connects via energy, which you always have, right? Because that love never dies. That connection of love is always between your soul and his soul. But as you were talking and showing me, they said the ask and the request and the invite strengthened that connection of energy, made it thicker, where it was almost like doing so allowed Ben to bring through even more than he would have been able to without the ask before.
Exactly.
So when you have that, so you ask him, and then did you make time every day? Did you dedicate space every week to just sitting down and sharing that space with him and letting him work through you? How did you learn that process?
Yeah, thanks for asking. It's for me, it's really free flowing because, of course, I was in the depths of, oh my God, I can't believe this happened. At the same time I was receiving him, I was also dealing with the grief of not having him physical. I don't want anybody to think that somehow I had no pain whatsoever. It's part of what happens. And the thought of never being able to hug you, do you have any words for me? Heart of my heart, dear
Yeah.
child of mine. And he wrote, Mom, it's not over. Our love goes on. Nothing can keep us apart.
Yeah.
Time, not space, not death, not even death. We are together forever and ever and ever. I'm right here with my arm around you. I'm right here all the time. And he said, we've been together lifetime after lifetime. And he also said, you know, we can bask in our love still. We can bask in our love. So I first wrote to him kind of out of pain, and he has become my biggest cheerleader.
Mhm.
Anytime I write to him, his favorite message for me was always, you got this. And we all need cheerleaders, and
Yeah.
especially to convert that pain and sadness into a cheerleader, which is why I sometimes call myself the grief to gratitude guide,
Mm.
because I'm like, so I didn't have to have this boy. I got to have him for 22 years. How lucky am I?
Absolutely. I know that you work with a lot of people, and I'm just having these flashes of moms that I've worked with in the past who have lost their boys way too young at 3, 6, 9 years old. And it's been over a decade for some of them, and they're still not at that place. And I can't fault them, like there's no shame. How do you work with people who are in that space?
I'm feeling that right here.
Yeah.
I'm feeling it right in my heart space as you're talking. And that's why I do what I do. It was very clear to me that there was a hole that had opened up right in front of me,
Mhm.
that it was very easy to go down. And I see my work as a hand to help people out of that hole. And I think one of the things that is hardest about being a mom and losing a child is that we're supposed to keep our children alive. And our wishes can literally kill us. Why I developed an EFT tapping practice after training myself and becoming clinically certified, just the whole
Yeah.
nine yards, is to help people free themselves. It's partly forgiveness and self-forgiveness and self-compassion that is the key to really helping people. Because as we all know, time doesn't matter at all.
Well, and I want people to know, in case they haven't listened to past episodes, when it comes to energy healing and tapping, what I feel energetically is happening with the tool of tapping is you're releasing a PTSD energy, a very, very heavy, dense energy that's very, very hard to work with in this lifetime. Not maybe completely at first, but you're able to take it from, on a scale of 1 to 10, a level 100 down to a level 90, then down to a level 80. And then as you continue going, really bringing that energy maybe down to a 2 or a 3. There's another part that you said where, to me in your story, Jamie, it was so easy for you to connect. And I relate to that because when my dad passed, my God, he was just there. And then I realized he was there before he passed. And I realized the 6 months even leading up to his passing, his soul and his highest self was trying to communicate different things. But there are so many people that I work with who have a different experience where their mind comes in and they're like, well, my person's on the other side now, but I'm making this all up in my head. What is your advice for people who are telling themselves internally, this isn't me, I'm making it up?
See, this is really where the whole tapping process comes into play. Because where we would start with that process is, even though I don't believe that this is even possible,
Mhm.
I deeply and completely accept where I'm at about it right now. And we tap on that, which is a form of self-compassion. I accept that I am where I am.
Mhm.
And as we tap, it lifts. And then the resistance, which is why I love to give classes in this, although some people are able to immediately connect like you did. Not everybody needs a little extra help, but I love being that extra help for people who need it. Is that there are emotions sometimes that what you were talking about, that we need a little help getting beyond, so
Mhm.
you can allow that clear channel to come. But if you're willing, you only have to be willing.
Yes.
And then you can, I do believe anyone can do this.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. That willingness and just open to all of the possibilities because, I was just looking at, I do this thing, I've done it since I was like 16, maybe 15 years old, where whenever I see pictures or quotes or stuff like physically, I cut it out. It's just stuff that really touches my heart. I cut it out and I put it in this folder that I say like manifestation board or vision board. And so I was looking through it yesterday because I decided for 2025, I am not creating a vision board. I have too many of these pictures from over the years, too many things that I want to do and experience in this life, ways that I want to serve and help. I've got pictures of like Pope and Mother Teresa and Mother Mary and just, oh, like I'm so excited to get this vision, not board, wall. Like I decided to do an entire wall where I work out in the morning so that I can see it. But I'm saying all of this because the angels always talk about having that vision. And I was talking to a therapist a week ago, and I don't know exactly where I was going with that before, but Spirit saying to kind of lead the audience in this direction. And I was talking to her about how I do believe that our loved ones have a legacy through us. And even if you're saying to yourself, you're making this up within your mind, you're really not, because that love doesn't die, that connection, that bond doesn't die. And they want to do work, through us. I wrote this down and Ben said it. We say that for people who are physically suffering, that we're so glad that they're in a better space, that they're not suffering anymore. But he said, Julie, we shy away from saying that for people who are suffering mentally, but it's really no difference between the two energies. And that really hit me because that was not my thought.
So true.
Yeah. So, how have you opened up to allowing Ben's legacy to just move through you, to move you in your everyday?
Oh my goodness. He's very practical and he's very encouraging. Like he'll tell me, go dance. He'll
Mm,
tell me, go for a swim. If I write him late at night, he might say, you're tired, go to sleep.
yeah.
He's very, very practical. And
Mhm.
when I'm upset, he gives me messages of calm, just calm, mom. Like he loves me like I would love me.
Mhm.
Like if I were my own best friend. And it really has given me more self-love. And
Yeah.
I think that's one of the gifts of having these relationships you and I are talking about, Julie.
Yeah. In our relationships, when they're here on earth, it's easier to understand because it is physical. But when you have a relationship with a person on the other side, it does deepen in the same way our physical relationships here deepen. Maybe a part of that is trust, like over the years, you've seen Ben show up for you time and time again with me, my dad, my grandmas. So you trust that you are held, you are guided, you are led. How else have you felt that relationship with Ben deepen?
I love that question. There are these moments that we have of loss when we're doing something when we used to share it with them. And sunsets, sunsets have always been and always will be been my thing. And I remember the first time, we watched a sunset and I realized we were watching a sunset.
Together.
And I really almost, you can say you imagine it, but you can also feel kind of the hug and the warmth right there for you.
I had this message come in earlier today, and I was like, ooh, that's an interesting thought. I might need to sit on that for 6 or 8 months before I bring it to the podcast audience. But now I'm realizing that it was Ben. I've been looking a lot at legacy and how what we do here, our names might not be remembered 10, 15, 100 years down the road, but the kindness that we show one another, the compassion that we show one another lives on through others that we've loved, that we've been in connection with. And I saw this imagery and felt it and heard it this morning that if you look at a soul, so many of us, believe, and I believe that we've had multiple lifetimes, right? Like thousands, millions, all of these lifetimes. And I heard today in meditation, what if all members of the same family tree were of the same soul, but they were all different parts of that same soul having different experiences? Because I've also heard people say that when a loved one passes, it's like they take a piece of your soul with you, but they're still there and you can still connect. And that piece really isn't gone. It's just in a different dimension. And it was so deep and so powerful.
Yeah, and it can actually even grow more profound because they are in this omnipresent state. He's told me we've been every relationship we could possibly be to each other
Mhm.
ever and ever and ever and ever. And he's also like, well, next lifetime, watch out. We're
Ah,
gonna have some fun.
yeah.
He's also told me, and you can, that this was part of the way it was supposed to be this
Yeah.
time.
Mhm.
And he points to the work that I do with people who have lost loved ones and how joyfully I love being able to honor where they are and help them move along to really where they might like to be for their own sake and the sake of their families.
For sure. And I think it's the best way that we can honor them in this life. I
Oh,
love that you said it's not just about the signs, it's about being their messenger and experiencing life with them and including them. And I think that that just sums up everything that we're trying to bring through as a message on this show.
yes, yes. And you asked about legacy, and I do want to add something, and that is that his friends came to me, the people who loved him the first few months, and said, "We need an event. We need to honor his memory forever and ever and ever." And that's how Ben's Memorial Mile was born at bensmemorialmile.com. And on August 10th, which that will have passed, but we'll have another one next summer in Downers Grove. Every year we have a run in his honor. And it's warm and it's loving and it's fun and it's just Ben, it's so Ben. And we've raised over $150,000 so far for schizophrenia brain research and for the National Alliance of Mental Illness. Very proud to say that. And we have fun.
Amazing. That's amazing. That's amazing. Good for you. And Ben is also saying that I can't end this show without asking you, has he talked to you at all about angels? And do you believe in angels? And how do angels play into how you work with the other side?
I've been close to angels for many, many, many years. I have them about. I have one right here, and Mother Mary, and the loving, benevolent beings that are surrounding me. So I honor them in my heart. I sometimes invoke them, by name, but I believe that I often say, Ben became my angel.
Yeah, I love that. Jamie, you are just such a wonder. Thank you so much for all that you do. And I know you're an expert in EFT and tapping, and it's how you help people come back home to their selves after loss. Please share where everybody can find you, where they can find your book, and we'll put all of that information in the show notes below.
Absolutely. It's all about happiness. TAPFOR happiness, tap for happiness at gmail.com. If you do email me, I will send you a PDF copy of the book and offer a 30-minute chance to chat, get together, and just, see where you are and where you want to be. And tapforhappiness.com is my website. And if you want to look into Ben's Memorial Mile or donate to a good cause, or even there's videos of him and you get a feel for him as a person, it's bensmemorialmile.com.
That's beautiful. Thank you, Jamie, for being you and for just being the messenger that you are. I so appreciate the work that you put out into the world.
I appreciate you, Julie. What a pleasure. Thank you.
You too. Have a beautiful, blessed day, friend.
You too.
Thank you. And to all our listeners, if you have an angel story to share, we would love, love, love to have you on. Friends, there are all different types of angel stories. Stories where you hear the angels come in and they ask you to do something and it saves someone. There are stories of just signs that you get from your loved ones on the other side, making sure that you know that they're okay. We'd love for you to share your angel stories on the show. And if you've seen an angel too, we have those stories. They're so powerful. Every story deserves to be shared. We'd love for you to submit them over at julie@theangelmedium.com. Love you. I'd love to work with you if it resonates. Book a reading to get messages from your angels right away. Or join my membership or my Angel Reiki Mediumship School. What's the difference? The Angel Reiki Mediumship School certifies you in mediumship, angel messages, and energy healing all at once. Some join simply to develop all of their unique spiritual gifts to the max, and others want to start their own spiritual business. Both are perfect. You can take the Angel Reiki Mediumship School online with Zoom meetings or in person in Oak Brook, Illinois, in November or April. Bonus, when you register for the in-person Angel Reiki Mediumship School today, you also get the 8-week online program free with Zoom meetings included, so you can literally start today. How is that different from my membership? My membership gives you everything you need to care for and nourish your soul. The fact is, our world neglects the soul. Most people only attend to their own soul when they have a big life crisis. But your soul is not a problem to be solved. Your soul is starving to be seen, heard, nourished, and cared for. Your soul is speaking to you, and it wants you to hear it. That's what my membership does. It nourishes your soul. It shows you there is an entire universe living within you, how you can access your own angels, messages, and live a life of wonder, magic, enchantment, and miracles. At your request, we've changed the membership so that you can join anytime, any month. You can purchase readings, the school, my membership, all over at theangelmedium.com. As we close today, ask your angels to be with you and allow these messages to speak to your heart. Your angels say you are connected to the universe, and the universe is connected to you. All you ever need is within you right now at this very moment. Stay true to yourself. Don't betray yourself by going against the intuitive feelings you get. Trust your own inner wisdom. Why? The world needs you. The world needs you to dream big and for you to discover what's possible for yourself. Step into the energy of all that you are. Smile, laugh, and allow your heart to be healed. Ask your angels to bring you big, big miracles, prosperity, and to open big doors. Believe in miracles. You have a big purpose, and friends, inspiration is everywhere. Everywhere you look, there are people in need of help, love, and support. Find a way to be of service. Start right now by asking yourself, what good shall I do this day? Love is who you are. Joy is your nature. Remember, God only ever has 3 answers to your prayers. Yes, not yet, or I have something so much better in mind you can't possibly believe it. Nothing is impossible, and nothing can stop your determined soul from succeeding. Now go about your day and expect the most wonderful things to happen.